Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and I'll be talking about a heroic heavy bolt rifle OMNISSIAN axe build for the brand new Techmarine class. Now, we are Prestige 4 Max Techmarine. This did take me about 10 hours to do, but the Techmarine right now, he is definitely feeling better than he did in the PTS. He is maybe the weaker end of classes in Space Marine 2 still, but that being said, he definitely performs quite well on Tyranids and other hard content like that, so I'd say he's in a pretty decent spot. Now, as far as the weapon choice I've taken here, I do take the heroic heavy bolt rifle, mainly because this weapon kind of makes up for a lot of the issues the Techmarine has. Number one, the grenade launchers give you contested health recovery and stagger, where the Techmarine usually has very little. That is super beneficial for him, especially since this class has very little no knockback and is very squishy. So I think this is the overall best option, though things like the Oculus Bolt Carbine and the ×2 headshot multiplier are also quite powerful. Now, for the perk tree on this, I do just go down the bottom row for the most part, because perks like extended magazine, increased capacity, these do buff up the grenades you have, like the total grenade capacity you have, which is very useful on him because grenades, they just kind of save your life. And then I go up here into the perk recoupment, because armor regen on this class is fairly limited. I mean, you have a few sources of it. Like, number one, your OMNISSIAN axe has armor siphon. This will give you back armor on your actual weapon hits and weapon kills, but a 60-second cooldown is quite long, and the other option he has here is fortifying salvo, which is also very good. It's just a 30-second cooldown. So having this bonus 15-second cooldown on a headshot kill, this is really useful. You definitely notice this, and on top of that, you can build this into the perk here, Rapid Health, to give you some form of healing, which is also very useful and very easy to trigger, because this says when your health is below 30%, killing 7 enemies rapid succession restores your health by 10%, and that is very easy to trigger because you do have a fucking grenade launcher, so killing 7 enemies pretty quickly, not too hard. Now, if you don't want to go up here, you could go down here for cleaving fire into the perk Rampage for more damage. I really don't think this is worth it. I think you are way better going up here, because that armor restore seriously helps out the Techmarine, and you're not really giving up anything because you still get grenades. You still get the perks here like remote threat, because this one says enemies at a distance of more than 25 meters take 20% more damage. There are 2 instances of this perk for a total of 40%, and these can combine with the perk over here, long range barrage, to give you even more damage at far range. So really good synergy on this one. Now, for the melee weapon, I want to talk about this before I talk about the secondary, because I'm sure a lot of people are curious about the OMNISSIAN axe. This weapon is pretty strong. It definitely fits the playstyle of Techmarine. It may be harder to use, it definitely has a learning curve, but the big thing here is that your charge attack, the discharge, is 100% built with the servo gun auto gun strikes in mind, because what happens in this game is basically you will perfect parry an enemy, you will have the opportunity to servo gun strike them, and you can use that to stagger them and enemies that are like stacked up on top of them, because the gun strikes in Space Marine 2 do have a bit of knockback to them. If there are any enemies that are around the other enemy to be gun striking, they will be all knocked back, which is super useful for you to actually get your discharge off. And at the moment, I think the balanced option is the best, because balanced ones got a huge buff this patch, and the Techmarine especially benefits from some form of a gunstrike enabler, like a perfect parry over a block. A block can still go real hard. This one can do a ton of damage. I just prefer this one at the moment, and this is my preferred. Now, for the perk tree on this, I think this is the current best setup for this option. We go down the top tree through Perpetual Strength first into the perk here, Armor Siphon. Having Armor Restore built into your melee weapon, even on a 60-second cooldown, is pretty nice. This also gives us full damage on top of that. The next perk here is Perpetual Strength again, moving here into the perk Static Charge. Each foe hit during OMNISSIAN Rush increases damage of 10% within 4 seconds. OMNISSIAN Rush is really damn good. You can use this on Minoris swarms very easily, because your gun strikes are automatic, or maybe not automatic, but they are hands-free basically, even on Minoris. So if you knock them all over with your OMNISSIAN strike, you can just get armor back for free by just left-clicking or like hitting whatever controller button you have. A really powerful option here, so I think OMNISSIAN Rush, definitely a great thing. Next perk here is Iron Rush. This gives you a 50% range damage reduction while you are rushing with your OMNISSIAN Rush. Kind of a no-brainer to pick one up on top of this. Then we go here into the perk Armored Strength, which gives us a melee damage increase of 10% while we have armor remaining. This gives us even more reason to use perks up here like Recoupment anyways, so having this buff is pretty nice. And then this is where I think you can make a bit of a decision. So here I took Expose Foes hit by Omniscience Rush or Omniscience Strike take 15% increased damage for 5 seconds, because usually in Space Marine 2, when you're using your Omniscience Rush, you will stab the guy at the end and immediately go into your heavy attack discharge. This can buff up the damage for that for 5 seconds. It may not be like super substantial, but even just like rush them like a boss or something and then shoot them in the face, or your turret shooting them, that is pretty nice. So if you want to take this one, you definitely can. Or alternatively, you could go down here through Perpetual Strength into the perk Executioner. Unless your discharge damage increases by 20% against foes hit by your light combo within the last 5 seconds, because the way you set up your discharge on this weapon is you do a light attack. Your character lands down the axe here, and then you'll do your charge immediately after. So they're pretty much always proccing this. I do think this is like overall more damage, but you know, this is up to you. We aren't really building for like pure horde clear in the light combos because the bottom tree is a little bit better for that. But if you want to do this, you definitely can. I think these are like the 2 perks I would probably, you know, choose between if I want to swap anything. Next perk here is Energize. While charging, releasing electric discharge, you know, these 12 heavy hits and you cannot be knocked back. This is super useful because having no knockback on this, it just makes it way more practical. And the final perk I think is pretty much mandatory for any discharge build, which is Rapid Charge. Electric discharge charges 40% faster. Without this perk, your electric discharge takes forever to charge and actually does a pretty substantial amount of damage to hordes, so having a faster charge on that is super useful. You may wonder, like, wait, why aren't we taking Mighty Blast for an additional discharge? Well, this one just takes way too long to get off, in my opinion. This is much better on the block version because the block version has those double adrenaline surge charges to stack up and stagger everybody. On the balance version, I would just skip this and choose between these two. You know, that's up to you. I think this is currently the best build for this option on the OMNISSIAN axe. Now, for the secondary, I do take the Rate of Fire Plasma Pistol. This is a little bit less important. The Rate of Fire Plasma Pistol is mainly good for stagger and CHP regen, and like I mentioned before, the Heroic Heavy Bolt Rifle is also good for this because those are 2 things this class seriously lacks, so having this option does help out a lot. And the Rate of Fire Plasma Pistol is still a top tier option in Space Marine 2 patch 12. Now, for the perk tree on this, you just go all ammo because the ammo economy here still sucks, and also the ammo economy on Techmarine is not super strong anyways. That's pretty much all there is for our weapon selection, but going into the perk tree here, we do have quite a few options. Now, you don't have to build exactly like I did. I do think the current best combo is still Plasma Enhancement plus Omniscience Fury, but in patch 12 from the PTS, they did buff up the other servo gun options. The servo gun will now properly scale damage with difficulty, which means things like precision enhancement, things like the base bolter option, they are quite powerful. Things like lethal perimeter have also gotten a bit of a buff, so you can go out of the box with this if you want. I'm just setting it up for AoE plasma damage because I still think that burn plus plasma is pretty nuts in this game. Now, the first perk I take here is Plasma Enhancement. The servo gun now fires exploding plasma projectiles at enemies. This perk is pretty damn powerful, but only, in my opinion, when you combine it over here with Omniscience Fury. Servo gun shots at enemies on fire. If you have enemies clumped up and you have this perk active with the Plasma Enhancement, you will just apply burn like you have a Pyre Blaster. It is an incredible combo. It will cook bosses, it will bail you out, it will recover CHP. Really good option. I think the Plasma Enhancement definitely benefits from this one the most, though you could pick other signature perks if you wanted to. I think the burn is just too strong. Not too strong, but you know, strong, so strong that you just want to take it with this option. Next perk here is Arc Cleave. Damage from charged melee attacks increases by 20%. This did get nerfed by 5% from like the PTS. Really, who cares? It's just the overcharge on the prestige perk for Bulwark at this point. And this will buff up your discharge damage, and discharge is a very powerful attack on this weapon, and this is one of the best options for melee damage increases in this entire tree, because this one is a multiplicative damage increase, and ones like this over here for push the advantage and counter-offensive protocols, these are additive, so I don't think they're worth just as much. So if you want to take this one instead, I definitely would. Next perk here is Long Range Barrage. Range damage at ranges greater than 20 meters increases by 25%. This is just a nice range damage bonus, really easy to pull off because you're actually at a pretty far range on this class an awful lot because he has a lot of keep away tools with his servo gun and things like his Tarantula Sentry gun, so I do prefer this one. I think the other options are not like horrible, I just think this one's the overall best. Next perk here is the team perk Reinforced Position. All team members within 15 meters of an active Tarantula Sentry gun take 25% less damage and deal 15% more damage. This perk is great. In the official patch 12, there are way more torrential sentry guns now, and being within 15 meters of an active torrential sentry gun is very easy to pull off, and a 25% damage reduction here is like the only damage reduction you will find on the Techmarine anyways, and this is the squishiest class in Space Marine 2, so having this perk does help you out a ton, and also a 15% additive damage bonus on top of that is pretty nice to have, and the Torrential Sentry Gun on its own is already pretty strong, so definitely a great value perk. And if you want to take something else, you could take Combat Squad Resupply. This one's also pretty decent. I just prefer this one for now. Next perk here is Designated Target. Enemies hit by the servo gun take 15% more damage for 10 seconds. This is a pretty nice option here, just for like a little bit of a damage bonus. The damage isn't super substantial, but I do think the other options here are not like amazing, so I just prefer this one. Next perk here is Replenishing Salvo. Killing or incapacitating an enemy with the servo gun restores one equipment charge. The cooldown is 75 seconds. This is a pretty fast equipment regen. Most equipment regens in Space Marine 2 are 90-second cooldowns, so this one's a little bit shorter. And also, killing or incapacitating an enemy with a servo gun is very easy to do in this game, so this is pretty much used off cooldown. Now, if you want to have better synergy with the perk up here, Reinforced Position, you could use Augmented Tarantula, because ammo increasing by 50% means you have a 50% longer duration on your turret, which means you have a potential of a 50% longer duration on this perk effect. But I just picked this one up because I think equipment is also very powerful. Next perk here is Fortifying Salvo. This just gives you an armor after you kill or incapacitate an enemy with a servo gun. Just like this perk, it's very easy to do this, and this is pretty much used off cooldown. Final perk is OMNISSIAN's Fury for setting enemies on fire with a servo gun, and that is just one of the best options in the game. I still think this is the best signature perk overall. That's pretty much all there is for the perk tree, but here in the prestige perk list. Okay, number 1. Just take chained headshots. I know most of you are not prestige 4 yet, but if you're like picking perks, this perk here, it's just the best for your overall headshot damage on your bolter weapons, and pretty much every gun you have on this class is a bolter weapon in your primary. You know, you have auto bolt rifle, heavy bolt rifle, Oculus bolt rifle. You get the idea. You just use headshot damage perks, and this is one of the best in the game, so definitely pick this up. Next perk here is a brand new perk. They replaced the garbage Revive Surge perk in the official patch 12. Now they give you Indomitable, my god. You get Indomitable, which you become invulnerable to damage while activating a Tarantula Sentry Gun. This perk is incredible. This pretty much makes it free to activate your Tarantula Sentry Guns. Now keep in mind, this will not work while you are holding the E button to interact. It'll only work during the actual animation. But even with that being said, it will just save your life. This perk is incredible. It makes using your Tarantula Sentry Guns free, and your Tarantula Sentry Guns are very strong in this game. And on top of that, you have perks built around them already. So really good value. I pretty much always pick this up. I play without it for a bit. It feels way better when you actually use it. So this is just my preferred. Next perk here is Stim Boost. Medicaid stims restore 40% more HP. This class is very squishy, and having better economy on your stims feels really good in this game. And this will also save your life and just make it so your stim pickups are worth that much more. Now, the final perk is up to you. Blast Radius, Defensive Stance, Furious Gunstrike, and Volatile Sentry. They're all pretty good. I think this one is good technically, but really your sentries don't die that much. They definitely do die sometimes, but having this, if you want to take this for like the bonus 1000% damage, it will nuke enemies around it, but sometimes they'll die to like one guy. So if you want to skip that for something like Furious Gunstrike, which I did this time, which is after using a Gunstrike, melee damage increased by 25% for 5 seconds, you definitely can. These are both good options, but you know, these final 4 are up to you. And that's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. I do think this is the strongest plasma enhancement build currently, and probably one of the strongest OMNISSIAN Axe setups, but hopefully this build guide helped you. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more. And as always, thank you for watching. And if you want to come and find me live, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch. I'll link in the video description alongside a link to my community Discord. Take it easy. Bye. Oh, that sucks. Might actually cost me the game. Should have done that. Bro, I'm not immortal on the actual interrupt. we go. Usually gives you an ammo cache here. Summon reinforcements. Get rid of this dude. I want to deal with Bramble all day. Okay. Oh, I thought I screwed myself over at the beginning there, but it all worked out in the end. I guess I'll take this. I mean, the damage buff there isn't bad. I would prefer a Melt Bomb, though. I'll probably use this turret, but then I would have triggered him, and that's a ranged spam I didn't like dealing with. Up to 9 hours in. Hey, yeah, we're going for 24, or trying to.
On my mark, brothers. The armory provides.
Okay, actually, I'll take that. Shock nades are very valuable here.
Supplies for our use. This tarantula is still battle-worthy.
That first interact I got, I thought I was cooked. Not gonna lie. We lost like half our remaining HP. That would have been pretty bad.
A fruitless search.
We went into that boss fight with like no HP. On a very bad decision. I'll do this. Turrets are good. Triple. You blow up my turret now. My turret doesn't know what the hell to do against a guy that's going to be doing that. Hello? Okay.
Only orders on this, officer.
Only orders, eh? If we find a relic, we should be totally fine. Another ammo box, perfect.
Molten flame shall we smite them.
Stim. Okay, I kind of want to save that, but I also think it's going to explode if I don't use it. I do have Brazilian sound, so that's quite a... we'll use that for just in case.
To my flesh.
You never know. Better be safe here when you're this squishy. Are the turrets immortal? No, they're not. But they are infinite ammo, technically. You such a... When they run out of ammo, they turn off. You have to activate them again. Alright, stim. Relic. Okay, we're pretty okay now. We have one more boss fight anyways.
Activating tarantula sentry gun.
Right, all three Zoan throws. This is where I want precision shot.
Reloading magazine. Strike down the alien witch. Another alien swapping magazine. Zoan throat. They are calling for raid. Punish their lives and their gadgets in silence.
Okay.
The rest of this magazine.
That's a lot of guys up there. Make it so they can't split up.
Exterminate the swarm. Reloading. Tyranid cactus sight.
This is where I'd rather have an Oculus, I think. I mean, that'd be bolt rifle so good for the CHP regen, but I do think they did a fairly good job at making every weapon on Techmarine have a use case scenario, at least for like these good ones. Okay. FTG, will you stream GTA 6? Maybe.
Shock grenade. They sense
There's a
their
big
strong-
loadout station up here, so I can just spend all of these. Really want to.
Swapping magazine.
The ammo. I could go with the loadout station, use that, come back, and probably get back my ammo for it.
The lesson. Aliens are running out of time. How close are you to the alien facility? We have reached the objective. You are making good time.
Do I feel like dealing with 50 billion spore mines? Let me think about that for a second. Oh, plus this guy? No. Crack grenade? Actually, I'll take that over this.
Exterminate the swarm.
Okay.
Tarantula,
Tarantula? Perfect.
The charge has been armed. Rites of activation have been observed. The generators hum in the machine god's name. Brain sequencing initialized. Delivering payload.
The anonymous gift for the tier 1. But the voice of Strayman? Yes. They do. That was intentional. Like, they still have the Ultramarine voice lines for some reason.
Unsanctioned mechanical adjustments in kernels generated on. Follow only the divine protocols.
Hey, my turret's doing work.
X-axis aligned by the OMNISSIAN's will. This is a precise operation. We will have to hold out.
Okay.
Repurposing battlefield sentry. Y-axis aligned. Margin of error 0.0 nanometers. Blessed be the Omnis instability detected in generator. Deploy the damn operator requested.
Have my Bezos bucks. Thank you for the Bezos bucks, brother. Bonk, bonk.
Demolition deployment sequence concluded. Now there is logged under the Omnissiah's watchful oculus. Captain, it is done.
Oh, Sim, that's nice.
Let us watch the Xenos burn. There is an observation platform.
We can put skins on the heroics now? Yeah, you can put any heroic skin on a weapon now. And vice versa. Did they buff the heavy bolter yet? Heavy bolter? You mean the heavy bolt rifle? I mean, the heavy bolters really need a buff, so I doubt it.
Prepare yourselves.
Okay.
This tarantula is still back. magazine.
Holy L tech is OP. I would definitely not call him OP. Very squishy. He does pretty good damage, but he does have a 5 business day knockdown and the lowest HP in the game. Well, alongside Sniper. What the fuck is going on? I go back to my turret. Ow.
Facility. Run distraction efforts as long as you can. There is one thing I know, Lieutenant. It is how to pin down an enemy.
It is pretty good to clump up the enemies there. That is nice. This little buff. Did they nerf the hard siege XP? Yes, they did. They absolutely did. Let's see what we got. Anything good? On normal frags, I'll take it.
He provides. Never hesitate in fulfilling his will.
Two stems, right? We're cooking now. I think we came out of that initial god-awful boss fight like that.
Blessed be this magazine.
Hello. Okay, he doesn't say anything to you because you don't have any voice lines.
Repurposing battlefield sentry.
Shock nades. I want that more.
War gear requisition.
Oh, they did.
Bulk of the swarm is continuing along the predicted path. Continue holding. Reloading magazine. Throwing shot grenade. No, tarantula. Loaded and battle ready. Reloading. The armory for above.
Follow for drops. Love your YouTube content as well. Emperor protects. Thank you, Mufter. Oh god. This is a pretty fun run. Now, you know, if you want to swap out things like Reinforced Bastion for combat resupply, or combat squad resupply, it's not a bad idea either, I don't think. You can definitely do that. My turret's gone. So it ends.
Halfway there, brothers. Keep it up. Even the challenge. Swapping magazine. Shield your mind. The swarm has almost fully committed. Be ready for my mark.
Alright, get out of my way. Boom.
They sense their strongest. Only to see them. Reloading magazine.
Okay. There we go. You got iframes for repairing the turrets only with the prestige perk, which is a very good prestige perk.
Extraction complete. Returning.
How's performance for you? Are you running prestige on low settings? Kinda. Partially low settings. Not all low, though. There we go. Well, that damage is pretty low. I'm pretty sure the burn doesn't count, or like something about the servo gun doesn't, but either way, probably the best setup for Tyranids, at least. Or one of.